Hi, this is Kylie Coo. Whether this is your first time visiting me or you've been here before, a very, very big welcome. So, we're into week 4 of October, and of course our October prompt in the Mixed Media Emporium is Paper Mania. And our challenge for this week, week 4, is postage stamps. Now, this is a wide open challenge in the sense that you don't have to use actual postage stamps. You could make your own postage stamps. You don't need to do the project that I'm doing. This is just here to provide a bit of inspiration, as will Nina's video be. But yeah, so it's open to you to do anything you want within the theme of postage stamps. So I've got a project to do today that I have been really looking forward to doing for a while. And all I'm doing here is showing you some of the postage stamps that I've pulled out. Now, you maybe see that what I've done is pulled out stamps that have faces and heads on them. Because today, my project is going to be Postage Stamp People. And I want to say a little bit more about it before I get into the project itself, and just demonstrate a kind of couple of different ways that you can do it. Again, before I kind of start on the project I'm going to do today, I just want to tell you a couple of ways that you can do this. So I'm going to move these to the side and bring out a couple of other things that I'd kind of looked at just in preparation. Now, I will put later parts of the video on its speed, but I just wanted to take a minute or two to kind of talk you through this. So I've pulled out a few images from my kind of collage material. I went to the folder that I generally have people in. So I'm looking at this. I think this came from a leaflet for one of the galleries in Edinburgh. So what I'm going to look to do is to find a postage stamp that might match up with that. So there you can see this one sits on top of the image pretty well. And what I'm looking for here is really to try and get the shoulder line to match. Because I think if you can kind of match up the shoulder line, the stamp and the image fit better together. Even if the head is a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, you can do that. This is another image. I'd clipped out something. So again, you know, what I would do, and this is the thing that takes the most time with this project, it's about matching the stamps up to the images. So there again, you can see from that one, I've got a reasonable match on the shoulder line. It doesn't matter that the stamp is a different colour to the image. I think it just helps it stand out. I thought this was an interesting one. As I say, I'd looked at some of these beforehand. I liked the fact that this was a picture in a frame. I'd looked through a few. It was a little bit difficult to get an angle on this one. So if I was going to use this, I would potentially, I think I've got a stamp there that might work. I'd potentially have to disguise the top of the head there a little bit. So I'm going to put that one to the side today. Here's another one. Again, this either came out of a magazine or a leaflet of some description. And this is one where you could go almost along that total image with all the people and match stamps up. Or, you know, you could cut a couple of people out, say the two at the end, and just make it work for them. So again, you see there, that head is slightly smaller, but the shoulders fit in. So I think, you know, this is a really fun project. As I say, I've been looking forward to doing it for a while. So yeah, even things from kind of fashion magazines or fashion leaflets that come through the door, you can find some interesting images that you can attach a postage stamp to. And just showing you that one there. Now I'm going to jump forward just a little bit. I show a couple more, but I think you get the picture. Now another approach would be to take something like the Tim Holtz, I forget what they call these, Tiny People or something like that, and try and match stamps up this way. Now sorry, I tried to bring this in just to let you see a bit closer. I'll bring it back into the main picture in just a second. But again, just trying to match up the shoulders there. And you know, you can get some really interesting looks with this. Here's this one, and I really like this one, and in a moment I'll go on to use it. Again, I'm just going to bring it down and into the picture a bit more closely, and you'll see matching the shoulder line. So now, as I'm going to use some of the paper dolls, again I'm going to jump forward a little bit here. So if you didn't have collage material or paper dolls or anything of that sort, you could take an image and you could just draw a body onto it. So you can see there, if you just take the shoulder line and draw it down, it doesn't need to be in the same sort of clothing. You could make it anything at all. Even if you had a stamped image, you could stamp the image and fit the postage stamp to the top of that. So these are the three that I've decided I'm going to use today. Okay, so I'm putting this on a little bit faster now. So I've got my 3 Tim Holtz paper dolls that I want to use. I've got my 3 stamps, and I was going to make these as maybe artist trading cards, you know, so little 2.5 by 3.5, but decided that they might look quite good as a group because I thought there was a bit of perspective there. So what I've decided to do as a background is to take an existing piece of material that I've jelly printed on. The first one was the one that I did a few weeks ago. This particular piece I did I think prior to that, and it's just sitting in my stash. The first piece I liked, but I felt it was too bright. I wanted something just a little bit more muted. So I'm looking at this and thinking, this is quite a nice, this will make quite a nice background. I can almost envisage them as if they're standing in a line. So I've got a piece of, I think it's an offcut of a piece of watercolour paper. Just going to cut this down a little bit. I think it ends up measuring, I think it's about 4 inches by 6 inches. And I know exactly how I want to place them. Now, the kind of one at the back there, he has his hand out as if it's leaning on something. So I'm just going to place it. It kind of looks as if it's on her shoulder, but on the other hand, he could be leaning on something that you don't see behind her. I noticed that tiny spot of orange on the other side of the paper, and I just felt that that picked up the orange of the stamp of the woman in the middle. There was already in places, it's difficult to see in the light here, but there was a couple of bits of purple that almost picked up the colour of the other 2 stamps. So I'm just using my ruler to reduce the piece in size a bit, and then I'll stick it onto my piece of card. Now, this jelly print was done with Arteza metallics, and I do like the way that they've come out, as was the first piece. As I say, the first piece I did a few weeks ago when we did the kind of faux jelly printing, or the gel printing without mono printing without a gel plate. So because that gel print is just on a piece of computer paper, I'm actually just going to use my glue stick, because sometimes when you use wet glue it kind of seeps into it, and it doesn't always stand up too well. Although the fact it's got the metallic paint on it, it possibly would have been okay. I'm not going to take any chances though, so I'm just using my glue stick on both the gel print and the piece of watercolour paper that will become the backing. And I'm just going to get my bone folder and just make sure that that's fully stuck down. And this was just a quick way of creating a background. Obviously I could have painted a background, I could have done different bits of collage, but I thought today, since I had spent a little bit of time looking at my images and looking at my stamps and marrying them up, that this would be a good way to do it. So I just reduced the overhang there, took that off, just saw a couple little bits there. Of course you could go around it with a piece of sandpaper just to smooth it down, but I got it pretty good. And I'm just going to round the corners simply because I like corners to be rounded. And again, you'll see me just putting them back in place. I just want to be clear about where they're going to go and how they're going to fit on. I'm looking here, I could take the head right off the paper doll, but I'm going to use it to stick the stamp to it. But you'll see that in a couple of places, because there's going to be a slight overhang from the head, I'm just going to snip them off. Now the stamp will overhang the head, and I'm going to have to make sure that I fully glue that down when the time comes. Just looking there, you'll see that stamp has one of those things on the back of it, the hinges, you know, so if you're putting them into a stamp album, you could take those off if they can come off easily enough. If not, just leave it on. And the idea here with the stamps, you know, you could cut round the head and stick it on, but the idea is to leave it so that you can actually see that it is a postage stamp. So I'm just going to use some tacky glue in this case, and I'm just going to get that postage stamp into place as best I can. Now if you stay right to the end, you will see a close-up of this, and you'll see what I was meaning in a little bit more detail about the way I do it is to match up the shoulder line. Just adding a little bit more glue there just to make sure that the stamp's fully stuck to the paper doll. Now obviously the stamps have the postmarks over them. Again, that's fine because this is about using postage stamps in a different way. I think this had been a bit of a thing, oh, I don't know, a number of years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I don't know. I remember seeing some things way back then. I've not seen it more recently. I don't know, there's maybe still people doing it, especially within the kind of mail art community. And as I say, it's something I've wanted to make a video on for a long time, and so I was really quite excited to be doing this week. And it's, you can get really absorbed in just trying to match the stamps to, you know, whatever you're going to stick them to. So all I'm doing, I'm getting my stamps stuck on first. Again, you can see the shoulder line there, getting the stamps in place first, and then what I'll do is then stick the people right down, dabbing off as much glue as I can at the moment. You'll see at the very end, if you look at the still image, there's still little bits of glue on, but I'll just wait until they're fully dry and we'll rub them off. So again, making sure I've got them right in place, trying to get it kind of well balanced in terms of just sitting within that background. And trying to get that bit of kind of perspective in a sense, because okay, two of the paper dolls were of kind of one size, one scale, and the other one was much smaller. As I say, I did think about doing kind of 3 separate ATCs. It would have meant cutting the bigger dolls down a bit, but I then thought, well, let's play with them, add in a bit of perspective to them and have it as one single piece. So again, just getting a good covering of that tacky glue there. It doesn't dry too quickly, so it does mean I can move things about a little bit. The stamp, I think because it had the white background, I was seeing a little bit of the glue through it, but that will dry. And just dabbing that, trying to get up the excess glue at this point. And I'm basically going to stick the other two down in the exact same way. Now I'm going to take my Inktense here. If I'd had my Stabilo all, I might have used that. But what I want to do is to kind of just ground these people, you know, actually give them something to stand on. And I'm just going to put in a couple of lines just to give that sense of them maybe being on a path and a bit of perspective. I'm just going to take one of my Arteza water pens here, and I will just blend out the Inktense a little bit. As I say, this just helps to the lines just to create a bit of perspective, and the other bit just gives a bit of shadow and shows that they're standing on something rather than just floating in mid-air. Now I could have done lots of other things on the background to this, but you know, the piece as it stood already had some quite interesting marks and details, so I felt the background could stand in its own right. And I didn't want to add too much more detail because obviously the paper dolls are very muted colours, so I didn't want to lose them in too detailed a background. So just adding a bit more kind of shadow effect of where they're standing, and in a moment I will do a little bit down one side. I did swither about going right round them, but decided against that. Just going to make a border here, just darken the border a little bit. And again, I'm just going to blend that Inktense out with my water brush. Not looking to make it even, I like it to be a little bit uneven, just to give that slightly grungy look. And just playing about with it until I get it just the way I want it to. The Inktense, you have a little bit of time to play with it, so looking here, will I put a shadow down the edges, and I'm just picking up some of the colour direct from the Inktense here. I didn't want to make it too thick a shadow, so rather than laying the Inktense down and then blending it out, I'm just picking it up on my brush and then just adding quite a thin line. So, of course, Nina will have a project this week, and I'll leave a link to her video below. If you're not in the Mixed Media Emporium and you would like to join us, then I will leave a link to that below. If you are in the Mixed Media Emporium and you're sharing your art with us, then please, please, please make sure that you add in to your post the prompt that you're doing. It's very important that you do that. And it is a prompt related group, and therefore, you know, we only allow art from that. You can obviously post whatever you want on your own pages, but within the group it's the art created through these prompts and challenges. So here's my finished piece. I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. I want to do more of these as soon as I get some time to do so. I'm still hoping to catch up with week 2 that I missed, and I will do that as soon as I can. But overall, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. The images at the end will give a better sense of the actual colour of this. This was a little bit kind of washed out today because I had to add some light in because it was quite a dull rainy day. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy doing the Postage Stamp Challenge as part of our month of Paper Mania. And you know, I do look forward to seeing what you do in our Mixed Media Emporium. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Please take care and hope to see you again next time. Bye for now.